Omen is intended for an adult audience. The story explores mature themes and contains instances of dramatized violence. Full transcripts of each episode can be viewed at omencast.com.
What did Drake Hill have to say to that?
Oh, he folded like a bargain petticoat as soon as I dropped Codwin's name. The poor fellow was shaking in his little boots, bless him. Though I'll admit, it all would have been quite droll had I not been positively fuming at the time.
Then I'm thankful I wasn't there. I can only imagine what the ever-composed Minister Malik is like whilst possessed by hell's fury. No pun intended, of course.
Speaking of which, what did this mystery inquisitor have to say about the smoldering remains of my property?
Sama, you know I shouldn't.
Please, Brackett, how long have we known each other?
Well, I suppose I could let my tongue slip once or twice. If, say, a certain retired Pathfinder agreed to perform her famed firearm demonstration at the fair this year.
You know damn well that I have to host the unveiling of the Platinum Line locomotive.
Oh, come now. That isn't until after the opening ceremonies. You could spare a few minutes here and there on Star Day to do a few shows.
I really can't.
2 shows, morning and afternoon.
Brackett, please, I'm not a circus performer.
Just 1, then. I'm only asking for 15 minutes.
5 minutes.
10.
Oh. Very well.
Ha ha! Thank you, Asama. It's been too long since the people have seen what a master gunslinger can do.
Yes. I'll have Olivia schedule something with your people. I take it the Lodge will be using this opportunity to hoodwink more starry-eyed country folk into signing their lives away?
Well, recruiting isn't really my department. You wanted to know about the Inquisitor's report on your warehouse, didn't you?
Yes, my sources tell me the summoning circle in the basement was actually a calling diagram, and it was pointed inward.
Gods, but your sources are good. Spot on, actually. I don't suppose you managed to get a hold of the Order's statement?
If I had, I wouldn't be asking you about it. So, tell me, what does it mean? A calling diagram turned in on itself.
A bit beyond me, to be honest. Something about luring demons already on the material plane. Oh, and they're fairly certain it was demons, not devils, so I doubt Cheliax is involved after all. Though, as you said, nothing about that circle was attuned anywhere near to the abyss.
Demons. On Galarian. Were you able to dig up any information on local abductees?
What's that? Ah, yes. I'm told there doesn't seem to be any definitive pattern in recent years. Though, as per your request, I did have the records checked as far back as the People's Revolt. And oddly enough, there does seem to be more missing person reports every 8 or 9 years. Something to do with the circle, you think?
Not certain. Yes! Ah, Olivia. What can I do for you, my dear?
Callers for you.
Of course. Tell them I'll only be a moment more.
That's all right, Asama. I should be getting back anyways. Thank you as always for the bourbon and for agreeing to grace the fair with your presence this year. My grandchildren will be thrilled.
Not at all. Thank you, Venture Captain. I trust you'll contact me if there are any new developments in my case.
I promise you'll be the first to know. No need to bother, Miss Temperance. I can show myself out. You ladies have a wonderful evening.
And you. Until next we meet, Venture Captain.
Council on Toil Day.
Ah, yes, thank you for reminding me. Good night. Did you have any trouble clearing out Hogshead? Was there anything else missing from the storehouse? You're certain none of the schematics were taken. Is there a problem, Miss Temperance?
You're losing focus.
What? I can't see to my own affairs? This is simply...
a distraction. Do you have any idea how much time you've cost me? Running around town cleaning up your messes?
Olivia, please. I'm only trying to keep up appearances.
Shut up! I've just about had it with this idiotic obsession of yours. You are allowing personal trifles to get in the way of progress. Something I have, so far, kept from my reports.
No. There's no need for that. You're right, Olivia. I have lost myself a bit in this whole arson debacle.
Stop calling me that when we're alone. It's annoying enough having to pose as an underling to a Silver.
It's all in service to the ruse. Please, forgive me.
Speaking of ruses, you're going to have a change of heart the next time you run into Brackett. While brushing up on your marksmanship, you'll realize how much you've missed firing your adorable little muskets and pistols. You'll offer to do 3 shows next week's end. 1 for each day of the opening ceremonies.
But the unveiling
will never happen. It will look better if you're well and away from the Platinum Line engine when it's destroyed.
I thought my harrowing survival story was supposed to garner more sympathy.
The patrons feel an attack during the Great Andoran Fair will more effectively spur the Council to aggressive action, especially if there are civilian casualties.
So soon after the attacks in the north, won't that raise suspicion?
Your meddling investigators have forced my hand, Malik. Too many things have been set in motion. And now that we know what they took from Hogshead, I have to track down the trash I hired to kill them. Because somewhere out on the inner sea, a sample of one of our advanced blends is just waiting to be traced back to you.
Any luck finding Perseus Lewin?
No. But it appears several Pepperbox strongboxes at the real estate offices were opened, including the one holding the deed to Hogshead. It seems your suspicions of his involvement were well-founded, if not timely. You're exceedingly gifted at creating loose ends.
Oh, and I suppose your little field test last week had nothing to do with...
Why does it feel like I've been paired with the most useless student for the class project?
You need me.
You're just the highest bidder for this job, Malik. Don't you dare think for a second that you're irreplaceable.
Killing me will make you replaceable.
The only reason we are handing you this city is because you represent the path of least resistance. The moment that changes, you're done. Don't you ever forget that.
Yes, of course. You've made your damn point.
Good. Keep that in mind these next few days. I have business elsewhere that demands my attention.
What do you mean? What about the fair?
I've already put a team together. Just stick to the plan and steer clear of the mercantile district on the 3rd day. I shouldn't be away much longer than a fortnight. You can tell anyone who asks that I'm shadowing one of your cheesemongers in some cross-training promotion. The usual guff.
This business of yours, does it by chance involve that mysterious purple beacon near Kortos? What part of the plan does that factor into?
Not that it's any of your concern, but I am needed in Taldor. And I'm sure we have people looking into that anomaly. But as far as I can tell, the patrons have no idea what it is.
Yeah, too close. Definitely too close.
What do you mean? The witch's teat is at least...
Friendship.
The friendship is at least 100 yards out. What could possibly happen?
See, that's just it. Something should have happened already.
What?
If this was an underwater volcano, which it totally is not, we should definitely be able to feel a temperature change from here.
Well, it certainly looks as if the ocean is boiling. Perhaps it just isn't as hot as a regular volcano, being submerged and all.
So, why are we taking the skiff out for a closer look? I'm not super keen on being boiled alive today.
That's just it. I see bubbles, but no superheated steam to speak of. Otherwise, there'd be a visible distortion in the air. I mean, other than the purple light, obviously.
That doesn't mean it's safe, though.
Oh, absolutely not. I'm not detecting any sulfur smell that might point to geothermal activity, but that doesn't mean whatever this is couldn't be venting a variety of other noxious, odorless gases.
This is fascinating and all, but why do I have to tag along?
To make sure you don't steal the ship back while we're out here.
Toby,
What? You're too polite to say it.
don't listen to him, Lola. I just feel more comfortable having an expert piloting the skiff. That's all. Besides, if we encounter anything we're not prepared for...
I've already told you. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Neither has any of the crew. We're wasting time.
Bring it up and we're anchored true, Captain. Anything else you'd like us to do while you're away?
No, thank you, Wiz. Just have everyone get some rest. We shouldn't be more than an hour or so. Oh, and could you have someone paint over the old ship name before we depart, please?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Someone's a sore loser.
You wish. I just can't stand that idiot Wisp. You notice how often he addresses Gwen as Captain. Old fool is rubbing it in on purpose. Here, Beefcake, help me row this tub.
If it makes you feel any better, the tally was fairly close.
How many times do I have to tell you, lot? I don't care that Gwen got voted captain, alright? Believe it or not, I just want to get this pointless little excursion over with so we can bugger off already.
Pointless? I'd love to see what you'd consider important if an enormous beam of light shooting out of the middle of the inner sea doesn't make the cut.
We're just having a quick look is all.
Okay, so we get as close as we can. And then what?
Then we dive in and get whatever's down there, of course.
Yeah, sure. You're gonna swim 500 fathoms to the bottom of the seafloor and pull up the second starstone, yeah?
Damn right. I've been brewing up some extracts that'll help with the lack of oxygen and the overabundance of atmospheric pressure.
And how are you so certain it's a magical relic?
Are you kidding? I could name a dozen possibilities off the top of my head right now. I mean, do you realize how many powerful artifacts have gone missing in transit on the inner sea in the last millennium alone? Come on, Lola, don't tell me you're not interested in finding the scepter of Hakatep? Or discovering some lost Aslanti outpost?
You're dreaming, kid. You think all that treasure would stay hidden if they all shot out beams of light like that?
Treasure or otherwise, we just so happened to be nearby when it revealed itself. Therefore, we have a scientific duty to investigate.
And where do you think Stoddard and every other pirate ship on the inner sea is headed right now?
Please, Quint. If Stoddard had been keeping pace with us, he'd have caught up by now. The Will's Woe was at least a week away from us at this point. As far as other ships are concerned, we haven't seen anyone else for days. We can spare a few hours poking around. Isn't that right, Captain Gwen?
Oh, yes. Plenty of time.
You okay, Gwen? You've been kind of quiet lately.
Oh, have I? I suppose I'm still reeling a bit from the crew's decision and all. It's been a bit much to take in.
That's something I've been wondering, Princess. You don't seem like one to go in for the glory and gold like scientist boy here.
I'll take that as a compliment.
So what is it? Are you really so curious that you'd investigate this thing despite numerous warnings from your newly appointed first mate? Is the safety of your crew worth it?
She's got a point, Gwen. What are you hoping to find here?
I don't know. It's just a feeling like we're supposed to do this or I know how that must sound to all of you.
Don't let them make you second guess yourself, Gwen. This is the discovery of a lifetime. You'd be crazy to pass it up.
It's not just that, though. It's as if I've lived this exact moment right now, and I'm experiencing it for the second time.
Well, let's do this faster than the first time, yeah? See if we can't beat your old score.
Ha! See, I was right. No trace of any geothermal palpitations. Gwen, stick your hand in the water.
What? No, you do it.
Fine, big baby.
Toby, no!
Relax. You really think I'd... Huh.
What's wrong?
Does this smell funny to you?
What is it supposed to smell like?
Like salt water, obviously.
Oi, genius. You know you're not supposed to drink seawater, right?
Yeah, I know. This is fresh.
What are you talking about?
I mean, there are still trace amounts of sodium chloride, but it's definitely potable. I'm going to take some samples.
Fresh water? Out here? How is that even possible?
Underground stream must have broken through. It isn't unheard of. And before you ask, no. They don't give off purple lights.
Huh. Well, we might as well fill our water casks. We have enough right now to reach port, but better safe than...
Not until I've had time to analyze it, Quent. This stuff could be loaded with pathogens. Although if we boiled it first...
Oh, what is this? A university lecture? Come on, Gwen. We don't have time for this nonsense.
Well, I suppose we could refill the casks. But I can't shake the feeling that we're supposed to do something.
Right you are, Captain. Here's to your health and my wealth. Huh. That's weird. I could have sworn.
Oh, man.
Ew.
Toby! Are you alright?
I never said growing gills would be comfortable. I don't feel so good.
Toby!
Man overboard!
We've got eyes, Beefcake. Hand me that oar.
Ah, that's better.
Toby, what happened?
Correction. Super porous skin, not gills, see?
Disgusting.
Shouldn't have wasted my time making enough for everyone, I guess. Whatever. I'm going to have a look around. Later, losers.
Well, seems he knows what he's doing.
Right, yeah. And what happens when he doesn't come back?
He'll be fine. Toby does this sort of thing all the time. Last year, he made a potion that was supposed to grow giant bat wings. Lucky for him, I was there, because it turns out they were only vestigial.
I don't care. Look, Gwen, this is not what I signed up for. We do not have the time for side quests right now.
You're right, of course. I know that. I do.
So, what? Do people have a death wish or something?
Hey, lay off Gwen, alright? She's doing her best.
Don't tell me you think this is a good idea. We might as well paint a target on our hull.
If Gwen thinks it's important to investigate, then... well, we're here already, so we might as well check it out.
Check it out, and then what?
I don't know. Report it, stake a claim. Maybe Toby's right. Maybe we found actual Aslanti ruins. Though, I wouldn't be surprised if it just led down into the Darklands. Either way, I think it's a good idea to find out what we're dealing with.
Then you're as stupid as he is. Mark my bloody words. Whatever's down there can't be good. Bookworm Boy isn't going to discover anything but his death down there. Ours as well, most likely. You think sunken treasure just announces itself like this for anyone to come and claim?
What else do you think it could be?
Your guess is as good as mine. Portal to hell, some ancient doomsday weapon, a dragon turtle's hoard, who knows? Maybe Rovagog is finally waking up and is about to devour the entire world.
You shouldn't joke about things like that.
Who's joking? After a while, you see a fair share of crazy things out here on the briny deep. And believe me, whatever this is, it wants to be found. That's as dark an omen if there ever was one.
So, should we just wait here, or...?
Caden's balls!
Caverns! Gotta go back! Quick, my bag!
Toby, what?
The extracts! Big pocket on my haversack.
Whoa, hold on. Are you okay?
Everyone take at least 2 ounces. That'll give us about 20 minutes each. Be sure to save enough for the return trip.
Toby, slow down. You're not making
There's
any...
someone down there!
Wait, what?
A woman, unresponsive, but I think she's still breathing.
What in the world?
Gods.
See? I told you.
I can't believe you were right. How is this real?
As you can see, perfectly spherical and symmetrical, not a vertex in sight, no natural rock formations. And see, the striations in the stone? There's no way this was cut by hand. Look, you can even see fossils.
The energies in this cave, I suppose you'd call it, they're unlike anything I've ever experienced.
What would you say, 40 feet in diameter? 35? Aside from the adjoining chamber and the break in the ceiling, it's mathematically perfect.
How is this cave not flooded with water? What the hell is holding it back?
I'm pretty sure I'm breathing air. Are we breathing air right now?
The ocean just stops 6 feet up. Its surface contours with the rest of the room. Look, I can just reach right into it.
Who's crazy now, huh?
What is this, Toby? Who could have even made this? This has got to be Aslanti, right?
That's just it. These caves are... I don't know how else to say it. They're new. Newly carved, like only a year old, if that. See? The sediment hasn't even fully settled.
And yet, the auras here, they're so old. As old as the stone itself.
Not to ruin everyone's fun, but didn't you mention a woman?
Oh yeah, she's in the next chamber. Wait until you see. It's even bigger. The chamber, that is.
Might be an adventurer who got lost in the Darklands. Did she have any heraldry or signet on her clothing?
You might be disappointed. But also, maybe not.
What do you... Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness, Toby!
What?
Oh, hell. You're one of Starkers.
Yes, we can see that, Lola. Quentin, give me something to cover her.
I mean, my cloak is sopping wet, but...
Bring it out then. It will have to do. The poor thing. Toby, how could you leave her down here like this?
I brought you here, didn't I? What else was I supposed to do?
I don't know. You were gone an awfully long time.
Hey, I came back as soon as I found her.
Oh, yeah? Then how did you know she was breathing?
I mean, I could see her chest rising and falling, but...
So help me, Tobias Port, if you've been leering at this poor, defenseless woman.
I wasn't. Besides, I'm not the one ogling her right now.
Lola?
What? Bit of a fine thing, ain't she?
All right, the peep show is over. She must be chilled to the bone.
It's strange. No cuts or bruises. She doesn't seem to have a mark on her.
She is quite beautiful. Huh. She even smells nice.
Oh, come on! If I did that, it'd be totally creepy.
That is very accurate.
Whatever. I'm going to take some samples. On the other side of the room.
Where do you think she came from?
Well, dark hair, pale skin. I'd almost say she looks Chilaxian. But, I don't know. It doesn't quite fit, does it?
Well, she's definitely human. That much I know.
Really? She looks to have some half-elf features to me.
You wish your arse looked that good.
I was referring to the ears.
Human or otherwise. How could she have gotten down here?
Kidnapping victim would be my guess. Probably decided taking a swim was preferable to spending any more time in her host's company. Trust me, it happens more than you'd think.
But she doesn't look particularly malnourished. I mean, not that it matters.
No signs of being shackled. No lashings either. What are the odds she was lucky enough to swim down to this magical cave thing?
But Toby mentioned that without those extracts of his, we couldn't have gotten this deep without being crushed to death. Do you think she made these caves somehow? Could she be the source of the purple light?
I don't think so. The light seems to be coming from within the cave itself, along with whatever magical aura created this place. In fact, I dare say both have intensified as we ventured further in.
I think you mean farther, right, Toby? Toby?
Toby! Don't wander too far! Toby?
Typical.
Well, I was going to ask how much longer we were planning on staying down here, but it looks like the resident genius decided for us.
I'm sorry, Lola. He does this sometimes. And you're right. We need to get this poor woman back to the ship as soon as possible.
Bugger that. Get me back to the ship as soon as possible.
You two hang tight. I'll go get him.
I'm coming with you. The cavern's aura can tell me if we're going in the right direction. Lola, can I count on you to stay here and look after this woman?
Do you promise to set sail once we get out of here?
Yes. I think we've dallied here long enough.
Then aye aye, Captain.
Toby couldn't have gotten very far, but just in case, here's 2 doses of his water-breathing extract. If anything happens...
I'll somehow get an unconscious person to drink it, and then call upon my superhuman strength to drag her to safety from the bottom of the bloody ocean. Just hurry back.
Thank you, Lola. We'll be back soon. Toby!
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 Toby! Toby!
Toby!
Toby!
Toby!
So, you come here often then?
Toby!
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 Toby! I don't understand. I can't seem to reach him telepathically either. There must be some sort of magical interference coming from the cave's aura.
This is starting to get ridiculous. Look, this one's even bigger. What are we up to? Weird spherical chamber number 4?
5. I'm fairly certain my family's entire estate could fit in here.
Are you serious? Just how rich are you, Gwen?
Just kidding! Only kidding. Forget I said anything.
Hey, I'm sorry. I shouldn't judge. My parents were pretty well off too. From what I can remember, anyway.
That's right! Professor Lewin mentioned you were originally from Cheliax. It must be nice having family to turn to when things don't work out.
Yeah, well, my uncle adopted me when I was very young. I don't really remember much about before then.
May I ask what happened? That's incredibly rude, isn't it? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pry.
No, it's all right. It's just you've probably heard of the reputation Infernal Cheliax has for being Well, you know, infernal.
Somewhat. I've heard the most prominent houses make pacts with all manner of ghastly things.
Well, that is how they became prominent in the first place. Unfortunately for me, House Carthaginian was no different.
So, Professor Lewin saved you, really?
Sort of. Everything has its price. Uncle Lewin always told me that growing up. I guess the tab transferred to my parents after I was smuggled out of the country. They were found dead in their home a week later.
Oh, Quentin, I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. I never really knew them.
I didn't mean to bring back such awful memories.
It's okay. Toby already knows. It's high time you were let in on the big family secret.
Well, thank you for telling me. I promise I won't betray your trust. It's not as if I know many people to gossip with in any case.
So yeah, Lady Carthus? What's that all about?
Oh, it's a boring story, really. Certainly not as traumatic as your upbringing.
You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. It's just, something's been bothering me. Your real name is, Gwyneth, right?
Yes?
So, how did you come up with Gwendolyn as your completely original alter ego?
Well, I never claimed to be particularly skilled at surreptitious behavior. I thought it best to keep my assumed name similar so that I'd remember to respond when people address me by it.
That's actually pretty clever.
Oh, go on.
No, I mean it. But why the need for an identity change at all? It seems like your family is really worried about you.
My family isn't worried about me. At least, not as much as they are about their ever so precious standing in the courts.
I don't understand. There's a reward for your return.
My parents didn't put up the money for that reward. My fiancé did.
Oh, wow. So, that Lord Dismuth guy...
I am promised to him, whatever that means. My parents shouldn't be allowed to give me away like an old armchair. I refuse to be a gift to improve my family's standing with some stupid duke. They don't get to just call dibs on me. I'm a bloody person!
Yeah, that sounds like a really bad situation.
I'm sorry. I know, it's silly.
No, I'm serious. That sounds awful. You were right to leave.
Really?
Absolutely. I can see why you wouldn't want to go back.
Thank you for saying that, Quentin. I can't tell you how much it means to me.
Don't mention it. Though, didn't you say you have a sister?
Yes, Gretchen. She turns 16 next month.
So, is she okay with the whole being married off thing?
We've spoken about it before, and she doesn't seem bothered. In fact, she actually keeps a list in her diary ranking all of her dream husbands. She'd kill me if she knew I'd read that. Though, I've avoided suitors and gentlemen callers for so many years. I doubt my father will pass on the chance to foist Gretchen onto some shriveled bureaucrat the moment the clock strikes midnight on her birthday.
Wait, you mean her upcoming birthday?
Typically, the courting process begins at 16. But I've had friends who have been married off at that age.
That's pretty young, don't you think?
Apparently, a lady's opinion doesn't amount to much in Stavion's court, which is why I am never setting foot in that retrogressive joke of a country ever again.
Not even to see your sister?
I don't know. Gretchen is her own woman. She doesn't need her embarrassment of an older sister getting in the way of her happiness. Look at me. I've worked myself into a tizzy fretting about all of this. Whew. I do believe I'm sweating even. Whew.
Huh. Now that you mention it, it does seem to be getting warmer. Humid as well. Do you smell that?
Here now. It isn't my fault. It's not exactly easy staying fresh when you've been at sea for a week and a half.
No, not that. The air. Can't you smell that? It reminds me of a field right after it rains.
Oh, I think I know what you mean now. It's like a tea garden on a hot summer day, but so much more potent. Hold on a tick. There. Do you see? Look at the entrance to the next chamber.
What is that, a patch of lichen?
I do believe those are vines, Quentin. See how they snake around the opening?
Huh, that's weird. There must be a spring in the next cavern.
But don't plants need sunlight to survive?
Magic light, magic plants, I guess. And I'll give you one guess who's in there taking samples right now.
He certainly got down here quickly enough. Toby, are you in there?
Come on, Toby, we're leaving. You'd better not be... What in the...
Oh my goodness.
How did this even... How are we in a forest? Are we even underground anymore?
I don't know. Quentin, look! The walls are still rounded stone. See? You can just barely make out the roof of the cavern above the canopy.
We're inside another giant sphere? But how?
I don't think this is a forest, Quentin. It's more like an enormous terrarium.
But these plants, these trees, I've never seen anything like them before. Whew. Gods, it's so hot in here.
More of a jungle, really. I never imagined colours could be so vivid. Look at these giant flowers. They're absolutely beautiful. Oh!
Okay. Carnivorous flowers. Charming.
If Toby came down here then... Toby! Toby, can you hear me? Toby!
Come on. Help me clear a path.
Stand back.
Or that works. Toby, where are you?
There, I see a clearing.
Wait, is that Toby?
Toby, are you all right?
Hey guys, we've been waiting for you.
Ah, welcome, friends. I'm so happy you finally found your way down to me. Tobias here has been telling me all about you.
Omen, Episode 106, Delving Deeper, was written and directed by Tim Krause. Featuring Mamito Kukwakila as Gwen, AJ Beckles as Tobias, Charlie Wes as Quentin, Maeve de Bruyne as Lola, Sina Breyer as Malik, and Melly Grant as Olivia. Thank you to special guest Kyle Brown from King Falls AM as Brackett. Additional voices provided by Phil Usher, Brandon Jenkins, Sarah Golding, Graham Rowett, Chris Einspar, and Tom Laughlin. Original music composed by Matt Lee. If you would like to support these independent creators, as well as unlock exclusive Omen content, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/Omen podcast. You can also show love for Omen by leaving a rating and review wherever you listen. Your encouragement is greatly appreciated. Thank you. Have you ever thought about creating your own podcast? Either a fictional show like Omen or a non-fiction podcast that showcases what you're passionate about. Podcast Now is a comprehensive online course that will guide you step by step from your show concept to a successful podcast, with an emphasis on success. Developed and taught by Sarah Ray Werner, creator of the award-winning audio drama Girl in Space, Podcast Now has helped many shows find their own success stories, including Omen. Visit sarahwerner.com. That's SARAHWERNER.com and download the free podcast roadmap, an invaluable tool that will get you started down the right path. Again, visit sarahwerner.com and click on Free Podcast Roadmap to get started today. Thank you so much for listening to Omen. And until next we meet, fair winds and following seas.